Hello guys and welcome for another Eternum video. The time has finally come and today we will take a step into the PvP of Season 10. It will be a bit strange to speak about a build which I didn't play for more than 8 seasons or maybe just a bit over 2 years, but it got me so excited that I couldn't really miss that opportunity. In today's video I will share with you my PvP Fire and Ice build for which we will utilize the Spike ability. This doesn't mean that we are dropping the wind chill or that the wind chill is weak this season. In fact, both abilities are quite good for season 10 and another video will be uploaded for the other build as well. Okay, so where we should start? Let's take a quick look on the skill trees for both weapons. For the fire staff we are running the typical setup of Pillar of Fire, Fireball and Burnout. With this combination of abilities and passives, you have a really nice damage and of course the extra utility around it. For the Ice Gauntlet we've already mentioned the Spike, and of course to make it work we will need the Ice Storm, and for last ability I think it goes without saying that Entomb is pretty much a mandatory skill at this point. The full skill tree should look like this, and again you will have mostly damage buffs and utility from all the passives around both sides. After the changes in Season 10 to all the existing perks and rebranding some of them to charms, we now have the chance to stack heavily in one or another form of damage boost. This is possible due to the fact that the charms are being slotted on all our gear and literally any piece of equipment can have an offensive charm. This is also the reason why I believe that all weapon skill charms should be used primarily on the weapons, as then the bonus will be the highest. With that in mind, our perfect fire staff for this build would be with Frost Attunement, Sundering Stacks, Gem slot where we should put a Runglast Aquamarine of course, skill slot, and here you can place either of the 3 skills. I personally run with the new Burnout perk as I think those 26% of extra damage to burning targets is amazing, but if you feel that Fireball or Pillar would give you more value, feel free to go for them as well. Last perk in your staff is also situational, but I would suggest you to pick between Penetrating the Empowered for a bit more damage or Plague Strikes for anti-heal on each and every heavy attack you do. On to the next weapon, we have of course the Ice Gauntlet, and we want to have 2 skill slots for the Empowered Spike and Unending Storm perks. Gem Socket for additional damage, and we want to have a Runglast Cruel Gem in it of course. Attunement, and for last I think that Penetrating the Empowered would be ideal, but if you cannot get lucky with a drop, you can also run a second attunement. When it comes to armor pieces, we must first mention the artifact of choice. For this setup we really need the good cooldowns, and here there is only one logical choice, and that's the Nimble Coat. With the additional 8% cooldown, the coat is also providing us a gem slot and offensive slot, which is exactly what we need. Then, for the remaining pieces, the most ideal combination would be Sacrificial Empowerment, Ice Harnessing, Skill Enchantment, Gem Slot, and your choice can be between Wellness or Shirking Fortification for your protection. I personally think that Fortification could be useful even in the light equip load that we're gonna use, since we will be playing quite close to our enemies and dodging will be part of our repertoire. Also, worth mentioning that Shirking Fortification would not be only source of fortify in our build, so that's why I think that it would work. Another important perk which you might want to have on your pants is Shirking Energy, and I believe that ideally you want to replace it with the Skilled Enchantment. The reason is quite obvious, as you can slot Skilled Enchantment anywhere in your build, while Shirking Energy is only limited to your pants. For all armor pieces, the ideal setup of gems would be 5 Ice Runglast ones, as they will give us the 10% empower, and here it's worth mentioning that I will be aiming for opals. If you feel like other gems would suit you better, you can always go for them, but make sure that the Runglast is indeed ice. Our next stop are the jewelry pieces, and starting with the amulet, I think that the double or even triple protection is a must. Ideally you want to have the most common damage types such as fire, slash and thrust damage, but sometimes even lightning or void might be useful in different situations. For the remaining 2, I believe that Shirking Empower would be an amazing perk, and for last probably the new addition called Enchanted Resilience would be a nice fit. I'm not the biggest fan of the gem slot on Amulet since it will not provide me with more protection than the focus protection perk, but in case you have one and you like it, of course use it. Also, something worth noting here is that all those are fixed perks, so you cannot have 5 of them all at once, so that's why you should prioritize what you need the best. For the ring we could debate a bit as there are way too many good perks and unfortunately we cannot take them all again for the same reason, because they are fixed perks. I still believe that ice damage would be ideal one, followed up by enchanted totality. Then the question is, do we want to have a gem socket or not? If we do, probably Trust Gem might be the good fit since there is way too many balls right now, and of course for 2 remaining perks, Critical Infliction and probably an offensive slot would be best. If we skip the socket for the gem on our ring, we might get even another offensive or defensive perk where we can slot Ice Harnessing or another Shirking Fortification. Another cheap option for a good ring can be the Elemental Band as it has nice damage perks, but the downside of it would be the missing gem slot, which can result in a bit less protection. When it comes to the earring, again we have to choose between 2 really good ones. The first one is the PvP track mystery earring called the Insurmountable Earring, as this one has an illegal combination of perks in the face of Refreshment and a Refreshing Move. Additionally, it comes with a gem socket, Keenly Fortify, which you can change if you want to, and another randomly generated perk. The other really good earring, which will have a bit less cooldown reduction but increased damage potential, would be the Spectral Rat. It drops from the first boss in the new raid, and it also has 2 offensive slots, fixed in Nimble, and a refreshing move, plus it will also roll a random perk. This means that we will be missing a gem slot, but when it comes to offense we will get a huge boost. And additionally to the 2 offensive slots, we will also have the bonus from the Enrage set when we have 1 item. The bonus in question is providing us with a stack of 1% base damage increase each time we hit a target in 13 meters distance. Now the equipment is out of the way and we only have to discuss the attributes and the Hearthrune for the build. Here you can play a little bit with the numbers, as this patch the fire and ice are having a secondary scaling. However, I think that going for 150 constitution, 25 dexterity for the extra critical chance and everything else into intelligence is still the best split. You can also pass on the 25 dexterity in case you want a bit higher damage scale on your ice gauntlet, but overall the difference is not that big. For the Hearthrune I assume that the Brutal Dark Ascent will be again the top pick, but we can also give a try to the new Cunning Hearthrune of Phantom Blades. With this one you can do some Hail Mary plays, especially if you are pressured by melee players or in close fights such as the arena matches. Well, that was all for today guys. I hope that the build would make you happy and that you will hear the popping sound of the spike kills many times in your matches. As there will be more builds coming your way, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you will not miss them out. Also, I want to say big thank you to all the supporters of the channel, and if you want to become part of them, please click that subscribe button under the video. Good luck in Eternum everyone, and I will see you on the next one.